What a game. The Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills 21-19. And if this was a game that you wanted to win against this team, this was the week to do it, because I think there's a very rare chance that we go up to Buffalo in the middle of December and beat them on their home field. This was just a roller coaster of emotions, especially down the line in the final 2 minutes of that fourth quarter. But we'll start off with the stats as we usually do. Josh Allen went 42 for 63. I'll repeat that. 63 passes for Josh Allen, went for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing, I said in the preview, this was not going to be a rushing game, going to be a passing game. Josh Allen had 8 carries for 47 yards, leading the team. Zach Moss had that one electric run down the sideline, which went for like nearly 50 yards. And then receiving, Devin Singletary led the team, 9 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown. Zay McKenzie had 7 receptions, 76 yards for a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 7 receptions for 74 yards. And on the Dolphins side of the ball, Tua Tagovailoa, we'll talk about that. Only 13 completions with 18 passing attempts, 186 yards and a touchdown. Rushing, like I said, was not a rushing game at all. But Chase Edmonds had his first 2 touchdowns as a Miami Dolphin, and both of those were in this game. Raheem Mostert had 8 carries for 11 yards. Nothing was really working on the ground. Jalen Waddle was definitely one of the players of the game. Probably went to another guy on the defensive side, though. Jalen Waddle, 4 receptions for 102 yards. And then Tyreek Hill, 2 receptions for only 33 yards. Darius Smythe, 3 for 23. And then River Craycraft, 1 reception for 11 yards, which was that dart for a touchdown in the second quarter, I think it was. I will start by saying that the defense was kind of annoying me. And it wasn't the actual defense. It was Josh Boyer. He kept the blitzes coming. All game, the blitzes were coming. And that's where both of their 2 touchdowns came from. The first one, Devin Singletary was wide open on a 4th and goal. Brandon Jones easily could have stayed back and helped, or even Elandon Roberts just could have stayed back and been on that running back, which he should have, I think. I think he had the option to blitz, or if the running back popped out, I think that was his assignment, and he wasn't there. And then on the second touchdown, these were the only 2 passing touchdowns, but Isaiah McKenzie was wide open. There's nobody even close to him, because they brought like 7 on the play, and he's wide open, and they just kept on going, because when you bring 7 to the line, only 4 in coverage, that's usually not going to work, especially with the quarterback who's as smart as Josh Allen. That stuff usually does not work. This game really started out well for the Dolphins. It was kind of like the Ravens game, to be honest. Kind of reminded me a little bit. The Bills scored opening drive. Dolphins gave the ball back. We forced the fumble. Shout out to Javon Holland, who's probably the player of the game, proving that he's elite. And I think that he will probably be a Pro Bowler this season. Dolphins capitalized on that, drove downfield. Chase Edmonds scored, or actually they were at their own 3, so they didn't even have to do anything. But Chase Edmonds scored his first touchdown as Miami Dolphin. Bill scored the touchdown. That was to Isaiah McKenzie. Then the Dolphins drove down, and Tua delivered a dart to River Craycraft. Great catch, but great throw. Perfect ball placement. Dolphins forced a rare Bills punt, and then this is where things went a little downhill. Dolphins got the ball back with over 2 minutes remaining, and I think they had like 1 or 2 timeouts maybe. So a legitimate chance to score before half, but Tua dropped back and threw past Jalen Waddle. Then the camera pans back, and Tua is down. Like, he gets up, and I'm thinking, like shoot, like, I thought he was injured. Then he falls to the, I'm like, you're kidding. Like, and then I see him kind of fall down and collapse. I'm like, fuck. Tua has a concussion. And he's going to be out for the rest of this game, and then we play Thursday, so he's going to be out for that game. And I'm not ready. My heart is not ready to accept Teddy Bridgewater to be the quarterback, because now I know everyone on social media is going to be like, oh, Tua's injury prone, Bridgewater's going to lead, whatever. And I'm like, I'm just bracing myself for that. Bills come down and they try to fake spike it or something. Xavier Howard nearly had a pick 6. But Dolphins come out of halftime and Tua's in. And I'm thanking God. I mean, apparently he passed concussion protocols, but then we figured out after the game that it wasn't even a head injury. Well, the Dolphins tweeted that it was a head injury. He was questionable to return, but he said after the game that it was actually a back injury. Everyone in the world thought it was a head injury, but I guess that it was a back injury. Now the NFL is launching an investigation because they think he didn't even actually pass protocol. So we'll see what happens with that. Neither team looked really great coming out of the half. But score was 17-14 after Bills scored a field goal. There's start of the fourth quarter, and it's 3rd and 22. And I'm just thinking, like, I really think, like, before the play happened, I think that there's a really good chance that Mike McDaniel goes long here. Like, he is actually going to try to get the first down. If this was Brian, I know every single game I refer to Brian Flores, but if this was Brian Flores, he's throwing in Jacoby Brissett to quarterback sneak it, or he's handing the ball off. Whatever he's doing, he's not throwing this ball long. He's just trying to get into field goal territory, or even he loses yards on purpose to get a better punting position. But no, Mike McDaniel, the guy that he is, trusting Tua, sends Jalen Waddle long. The route was perfect, and you could not have had a better throw. You could not have had a better throw. Jalen Waddle picks up, what was it? It was 45 yards on the play on a 3rd and 22. Absolutely unbelievable. Great play call by Mike McDaniel. Dolphins end up scoring. Chase Edmonds scored his 2nd touchdown of the game. And now the Bills get the ball back, down 4, 21-17, with 10 minutes left in the game. So I'm like, there's time. Like, even if they score here, we're going to be fine, whatever. But the Bills ended up running this clock all the way down. Before you know it, they started the drive with 10 minutes left, and I mean, the final play on the drive was with like a minute 30 left. But the Dolphins had them in a position, or technically the Bills had the Dolphins in a position where it was 1st and goal at the Miami 2. And I'm thinking at this point, there's 2:36 left. The Bills are obviously going to run this down to the 2-minute warning, but I think you just let them score. It's the Buffalo Bills. They're the best team in football. With so many playmakers on the offensive end, they're 100% going to get 2 yards on these 4 tries. They're going to get into the end zone. You may as well just let them score. So 1st and goal, Devin Singletary goes for a yard, and the clock goes all the way down to the 2-minute warning. 2nd goal at the Miami 1, Josh Allen gets sacked, or it was a designed play for him to run. He ends up losing a yard. On 3rd and 2, this was the play that I nearly went crazy. Threw to Stephon Diggs. Xavier Howard nearly intercepted it for the 2nd time this game. Xavier Howard nearly intercepted. Now it's 4th and 2, and I'm like, bro, like, if we can get a stop here, like, you got to. And he throws it. And honestly, the first thing I thought when he underthrew that pass and it was no good, I'm like, first thought obviously was that, Dolphins are going to win this game. But second thought is that just imagine Tua made that throw. Imagine it's 4th and goal. You're all the way down. You had a 1st and 2, and you messed up a perfect wide open player, basically, if you can make that throw, and you throw it into the ground. Just imagine if Tua made that throw. Haven't heard many people talk about Josh Allen making that throw, but, hey, that might be just me. And then things happen where Dolphins get the ball at their own 2-yard line. I'm like, just don't screw this up. You run it, and you lose a yard, almost a safety. And I'm like, shoot, like, worst case scenario, you're going to have to punt it out of the back of the end zone. And quarterback sneak, no gain, nearly thrown interception. And now it's 4th and 11 at your own 1-yard line. Thomas Morstead, one of the best punters in the league. I'm like, you got this. Like, there's no way that you can mess this up. Kicks it into our own guy. Trent Sherfield backed up into Thomas Morstead. Just an unfortunate thing. But Thomas Morstead made up for it. Well, it wasn't even Morstead's fault. It was kind of Sherfield's fault, but Morstead made up for it. Kicked it far. I think it landed at the Bills' 10-yard line. Jamison Crowder brought it up to the 23-yard line. So they have no timeouts at this point. There's less than a minute and a half left in this game. The Bills are driving, and Isaiah McKenzie, all he had to do was run out of bounds, to be honest. I thought the Bills could have potentially had a playoff in time for Hail Mary, which they probably would not have gotten. But the Dolphins ended up winning this game. I was not able to be at this game. I was very disappointed. But from what I heard, the clock was just yelling 9, 8, 7. Like, they were just counting down. I was too. But I mean, if Isaiah McKenzie did get out, Bills probably throw up a Hail Mary, we still win this game. But that would have been 2 straight weeks where the Dolphins game comes down to a Hail Mary. which is just pretty crazy. But Josh Allen and the Bills did not throw any deep passes. Like, this was just check down after check down, yards after catch type of thing. I mean, neither did Tua and the Dolphins, but I mean, there was one play, obviously, that 3rd and 22, but that was really it. The Bills didn't even take any chances, and the one chance the Dolphins took paid off on that 3rd and 22. But injuries, I made the preview for this game late. It was really early. It was like Wednesday, so I really didn't get the full injury report. But turns out that Micah Hyde was out. He's going to be out for the season. Jordan Poyer was out this game. Trey White, obviously, we knew was going to be out this game. Jordan Phillips was out. A lot of guys were out, and even Stephon Diggs kind of played through an injury towards the end. Gabe Davis played through an injury. Dawson Knox was playing through an injury. Like, the Bills had their... And, don't even get me started with the sun. Bills fans are not... I know damn well that they are not blaming the sun. They're saying that it's unfair how the sun is on their side only, not the Dolphins side. It's literally what the home side is for. We can't control that we get 1 p.m. games. If you want to give us only night games, I'll take it gladly. But I mean, when the Bills were beating us, when the Bills beat us 35-0 down in Miami in week 2 last season, they weren't talking about the sun, and now that we beat them, all of a sudden the sun is now a real thing. So I don't know what their strategy of arguing there is, but back to what I was saying, the Dolphins did have their fair share of injuries. Tua, which apparently the Bills fans are saying that he kind of cheated because he didn't actually pass concussion protocols, and if that's the case, then our quarterback is playing with a concussion, so that's something that you didn't really think through. Greg Little, who's first of all playing as our backup right tackle because Austin Jackson's out this game. Greg Little got hurt into this game. Robert Hunt had to move to right tackle. Robert Jones came in at right guard. Then Robert Jones got hurt, or Robert Hunt and Larnell Coleman came in for a little. It was just a big mess up. The line ended up, I think, going back to its normal starting lineup, which was obviously Armstead, Eichenberg, Connor Williams, Rob Hunt, and Greg Little. And the O-line actually held up. I think Armstead, Connor Williams, and Robert Hunt didn't allow a single pressure, which I love to see. And what I also love to see is how, the Bills locked down Tyreek Hill. They did their job with Tyreek Hill, and it was Jalen Waddle's turn. Didn't have a crazy game, obviously, but over 100 yards receiving and 4 receptions. It really helped us win this game. I'm excited to see what goes on with the Bengals because I think that may be another shootout game. The main thing that I almost forgot to say was the time of possession. The Bills had, I think, like 60-something more snaps on offense than we did. Or it might have been like 70 or 80-something. And, the fact that you have so much more time of possession. Like I said, on that final drive, they got the ball back with 10 minutes to go, and they ran it down till the 2-minute warning. They had nearly the whole entire fourth quarter on that one drive, and more than half of it was on that one drive. And they only put up 19 points. Bills fans are saying that we played against their JV team, that they had their injuries, they were in the sun the whole game, acting like injuries are part of the game. Dolphins had to even go through them a little bit. You guys had the Bills had more than, a normal fair share of injuries, but that's going to happen. The sun is just a factor of wet. You can't do anything about that. The Dolphins won fair and square. That's all I'm going to say. A win is a win. And now what you say is you focus on the Bengals Thursday Night Football. Quick turnaround. The Bengals beat the Jets. Going to have that preview coming out Wednesday. You have 3 straight videos, 3 major videos. This review, then you have week 3 kind of hot takes review, whatever. Then the Dolphins Bengals preview is coming Wednesday night. It's going to be a fun couple days before this game. Dolphins opening is 3.5-point underdogs, which something I love to see. Everyone was wrong about this Dolphins team. We are for real. It proves that Tua's game against the Ravens was not a fluke. And hear me out. This may sound crazy, and honestly, I'm not necessarily agreeing or disagreeing with it, but people are saying that this game from Tua is more impressive than his 6-touchdown performance. And I don't necessarily hate that take. I think it might have been Jordan Schultz that said it. May have been somebody else, but he showed that he has that dog in him. He came back from whatever was the back injury, concussion. Now they're saying he even has an ankle injury. He's kind of questionable for Thursday. But he came back and he led the Dolphins to win this game. And I mean, may have had a heart attack down the line with the safety and stuff, but the Dolphins were able to get this win done. And a win's a win. 3-0 is 3-0. Can't do anything about it. Whatever the NFL says, probably gonna make a video on it. If it's a major ruling, then I'll make a video on it. If it's just a couple fines, then it's whatever. But if they take away our draft, I swear to God, if they take away another one of our picks, I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, Dolphins were able to beat the Bills finally. The Dolphins were top of the AFC East, and that's going to be a big factor going into the long run into the season, where with the AFC being really tough and stuff, we have that win over the Bills, we have that win over the Patriots, and I think you can already count 2 getting a win over the Jets. So I think that at worst you go 6-2 in the division, which I love to see. Or actually, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. I think at worst you go 4-2 in the division if you lose to the Patriots and Bills when you go up to Gillette Stadium and Highmark Stadium late in the season. But we'll see what happens. Either way, that's going to be wrapping up. Dolphins get the win. Got to focus on Thursday Night Football this week. Short week going against Cincinnati. But that'll wrap up. Hope you guys enjoy. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.